What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Diesel Creek. My name's Matt. Today we're going to be starting on a project that I have been dreaming about since I was a little kid. Last year we knocked out the dream shop. This year we're going to be knocking out the dream house, I hope. I'm undecided as of this moment exactly how much of this process I'm going to show you guys, but since the channel is always focused around machinery and dirt work and clearing and kind of a large-scale industrial homestead, if you will, I plan on showing you at least this part. Today's project is going to be to start clearing operations here for my house site. I hate taking down trees. Ask my buddy Sam at Scrappy Industries. He cusses me every time he's over here with the truck because I got trees everywhere. And I don't like to clear them. I like to be down here in the woods. It's my little happy place. But we need a little happy house down here in my little happy place, as Bob Ross would say, I think. I don't have an exact layout yet, but the house is going to go in this region. And I'm going to try to be having my front door somewhere around here. So all these trees with the pink dots, hopefully you guys can see, those gotta go. I would like to keep it tightly nestled into the trees here, but to be realistic, you know, you don't want a tree snapping off and coming down on your nice new house. So to take care of the bulk of the heavy hitting, the bigger trees, we're gonna be firing up the Kobelco SK250. I'm gonna throw on the narrow bucket for it. Makes that a little bit easier and nicer when you're digging around tree stumps, plucking all those roots out, and then we can just shove them over. Once these trees are all down on the ground, that's when the real work's gonna start. We've got to fire up some chainsaws. We're gonna start knocking things into processable, movable sections of log. The majority of it is firewood, but I do have a sawmill, so a lot of these nicer, straighter sections I'm gonna be trying to keep to put on the sawmill, and I'm gonna try to incorporate some of the lumber from this spot into my house when all is said and done. Now, I'm not sure how many of you guys watching today have actually been around since the inception of the channel here, but one of the earliest series of videos on the channel was me building this driveway. You know, this was a completely dense wooded area, and I cut out this driveway and put this in, and many people asked me during that time why I made it perfectly straight and then built a building over there instead of at the end of this driveway. Why do you want this hard right turn in here? Well, that was because I didn't want anybody to be able to access the shop without first driving past the house. It kind of makes it a little bit tougher for any would-be burglars to get in here and take any of my stuff. I don't really take kindly to that kind of thing. But the whole place is kind of a natural defense in itself, I guess. It is a long way off. The other aspect of that I like is that if I'm sitting in my house, I can pretty much look out any of the front-facing windows and see all the way down my driveway if anybody's coming. I like that. I don't like being snuck up on. So directly behind the machine is going to be eventually my house is the plan. And it's kind of always been the plan. And that's why I laid out everything as I did here. So it's about 500 feet from the front of the shop over here to where the center of the house is aiming to be. And that makes it nice because it's good enough separation that I can be over there working late at night or early in the morning and making some ruckus and not necessarily disturbing whoever's in the house. The other thing is it's close enough that I can walk it, even if it's raining or something. It's not a distance that you're going to get completely drenched in unless it's a downpour. Or I can just motor over there with the old golf cart. Not a big deal. But the main reason I wanted the house over here is a feature that a lot of you guys don't get to see super often. It used to be in my intros a long time ago, but there's a nice big creek that runs down here along the edge of my property. And I think once this is thinned out a little bit, and I'm going to selectively harvest some of these less desirable trees down in this bottom, kind of thin it out, should be able to sit in my living room here and look out and have a nice view of the valley and the creek and everything down there. So I'm pretty excited for that. I've always appreciated this view, and I think it's going to make a nice backdrop to the house. Anyways, I know a lot of you probably don't want to sit here and listen to me chit-chat, so let's go ahead and fire up the Kobelco and get to smashing some trees. Can I get a contact? I forgot I had my lifting hook on here until I heard it banging around. Gotta take this thing off because it shakes around and the pin ends up falling out of the shackle. Then you lose it and you end up looking for it for forever. And these hooks and shackles are very, very, very expensive. The last clearing job I took this machine on, I forgot about it and I lost it. And I hunted around for like 2 hours till I finally found it in a root ball somewhere. So I'll just put it in the toolbox so we don't lose it. So as you guys may be able to tell from my videos, I'm a busy guy. Whether it's pulling late nights in the shop, out on a revival somewhere far away, or pulling super early mornings, getting up editing videos, being on the go all the time can take its toll, and I don't always get to make the healthiest choices. One thing I've committed to doing for over a year now is drinking AG1 every morning. So what is AG1, Matt? AG1 is a foundational nutritional supplement made with the highest quality ingredients available, including 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients. It's what you might call the good stuff. So what's all that good stuff get you? Well, it gets you the stuff you need for body, mind, and gut health. So every morning, I take a scoop of AG1, I just throw it in a glass of cold water, I put it down the hatch. It actually tastes good, unlike a lot of other products on the market. I've noticed that it really keeps my mind focused in on the task I'm working on so I can stay on task, I can get more accomplished, and that helps reduce my stress at the end of the day. I've also noticed drinking AG1 helps give me a nice little boost of energy every morning. It helps get my day started off on the right foot, and I can get more accomplished. I'm not gonna lie, when I first started drinking AG1, I was extremely skeptical. Like I said though, after a year of drinking this stuff though, I am a firm believer. I like to keep these super convenient travel packs here in the shop and in my truck in case I forget it or I'm not home in the mornings. I got it right here handy, and it's got just the right amount in there for one glass. Dump in some bottled water and jumpstart my day. Give her a couple shakes and down the old hatch. So if you guys haven't tried AG1 for yourselves yet, now is the time. Use my custom link down in the description, and with your first order, you'll get a year's supply of AG vitamins D3 plus K2. In addition to that, they're going to throw in 5 free travel packs. And those things are super convenient. I have them stocked here in the shop and in my truck so that if I forget it in the morning or if I'm not at home, then I always have that with me and I don't have to break my routine. So pick your supply up today using that link down in the description there. I highly recommend this to anybody that wants to start taking their nutritional health a bit more serious. So a big thanks to AG1 for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to it. All right, I guess we're officially in this project. I got a few of these smaller trees down, just giving myself enough room to get in here and actually work before we start taking down any of the bigger ones. You don't want to get yourself too boxed in, and you always kind of want to have a good, clean, wide open area you can maneuver the machine to if you want to. You start pushing on some of these taller ones. You know, if something goes wrong, the top snaps out of it or gets caught in another tree or something, you just always want to be able to move quickly and get the machine out of the way or get in the optimum position to push a tree the direction you want it. I also don't want to take down too many at one time and get, you know, all of them wadded up on the ground in a big mess, because then it takes 10 times as long to get in there and cut it and load it out. Plus, it becomes more of a hazard to you on the ground with a chainsaw trying to walk through a snare of tree tops and twisted limbs and everything. You start cutting something and it's under tension and you don't realize it, and it can either bind up your saw blade or worse, it can snap off and come up and hit you. You can get pretty messed up if you're playing stupid, so we're trying to do this the smart way. Gotta be careful over here. My dad still hasn't got his tree stand out of the way here. Don't want to smash that, I'll have to hear about it. Does anybody know what these trees are called? They all grow like this. They don't get very big, they just bend over. They're really smooth gray bark there. One thing, we're gonna have a heck of a bonfire when we're done here. One thing nice about doing this time of year, ground's still pretty wet. Pretty easy to chop through all the roots, make less of a mess. At least compared to when you're doing it in the middle of the summer or something. There's the root. So long, silver maple. Even though we chopped at the root base, look at how much dirt is still attached to this thing. Easily 3 or 4 yards of dirt hung up on that root ball. So I always like to take the time to chop as much of that off of there as possible. Then we'll pick up the tree and drop it, really try to shake them clean. The cleaner you get them, the better they burn and you can get rid of the things. If you don't clean them off, you'd like to never get rid of these things. Not to mention we need the dirt to fill in the holes again. I would really like to get a thumb for this machine. It would make life a lot easier. Man, that's enough to make me upset right there. This one right here, which there's no way around it, we have to take it down. I think it's an ash tree. And that's significant because all the ash trees on this property got wiped out about 10 years ago when the emerald ash borer came through. And I haven't seen one out here. That's the first time I've noticed one. Hate to take it down, but it's smack dab in the middle of my living room currently. Better get that tree stand out of the way. Oh, look at that. I'm excited to wear the paint off of this thing. What a sweetheart. Alright, well I started out with the big excavator there and quickly realized that things were just a little too tight in here to effectively be working. So went ahead and grabbed up the case and took care of all the little small piddly stuff first. Now I got a lot more room to get in here with the big excavator and take down some of these bigger trees. Make no mistake, the case is quite capable of pushing any of these trees, but it does add a little bit of pucker factor when you get onto some of these big ones. This cherry here is massive. Probably the biggest cherry tree I've seen, not even just on this property. It's probably the biggest cherry tree I think I've ever seen. If it wasn't in such close proximity to the build site, I'd probably leave it, but cherry trees are the worst of the worst around here for just randomly snapping off and falling over without the slightest breeze even hitting them. They're not to be trusted. Anywho, it's the next day. I'm gonna jump on the chainsaw now, start buzzing up what we got down on the ground already, try to get all the brush and limbs and everything loaded out, and we'll try to make a nice pile of good firewood, and when we get into it, we'll have a separate pile for sawmill logs as well. And then I'm going to bring one of those articulating dump trucks over here, and we're going to load the treetops up into the dump truck and take them over to the burn site. Once all that's cleaned up, then we'll be jumping in the Kobelco and taking down some of the big boys. Well, I think we got us a load on there. It takes a little bit of time to manipulate and break and smash all of the limbs down into that truck bed, but once they're in there, it's packed good and tight. Got the tree stumps holding it in there. Let's go dump this on the burn pile. What's that old saying? The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Well, this one fell a little too hard. There was some really nice straight wood here, and this dang thing split just about all the way to the base. Unfortunately, probably not much you could really do with it on the sawmill now. It is pretty much firewood. That's a bummer, because that was a big log. Got a couple buddies showed up with chainsaws to help out. Get this done a lot quicker. Well, things are really opening up here. We're gonna have the next wave of trees coming down is gonna be stuff that's just over this hill. The house is gonna be kind of sunk down into this hill, the back porch. There's gonna be a deck off the back, kind of going out over that hill. And we need to make some room with some of these bigger trees to allow for all that. Got a couple monster stumps over here that we gotta clean off yet. We'll get those cleaned up and loaded out. And then we have quite a pile of logs here. All these ones are firewood. These guys are stuff I'm gonna try to save for the sawmill. So we're gonna use the JCB truck, get that stuff loaded out of here, haul it off to where I have room for it right now. Well, that's a load. Let's go dump it off. I was getting ready to dump these stumps on my pile here, but I decided I better tighten this pile up before it gets spread too wide and it's hard to keep it tight. logs we're going to keep for the sawmill. Get these loaded up and out of the way. The rest of this firewood logs I think I'm just going to leave staged up here on this site. I don't really have any other great places for them. one salvageable piece out of that big tree that's split in half lengthwise on us. Try to get something out of it. All right, my buddy Tony there wants to freehand drop one, and this particular cherry is right next to a maple that I'd like to save. So if I were to try to dig it out of there, it would definitely kill the maple in the process. If I didn't knock it over accidentally, I would still be cutting enough roots that it would be dead. So he wants to put the moves on it and drop it. And this right here is why you can't trust any of these cherry trees around here. It looks like a perfectly solid, healthy tree on the outside, but inside it's full of these ants. The whole center is ate out with them. It's popping. Getting ready to. If you're patient, it'll still go at this point. He's got it now. There we go. Timber. Beautiful. Okay, I have the site cleared for now. This is as much as I'm taking out. The next thing I need to do is actually get the blueprint of the house and get some stakes, and we're gonna lay it all out here and try to actually lock down a spot for the house, and that way I can kind of look from the footprint of the house to the trees around it and see what needs to still come out, because I know for sure there's definitely some like just down over this hill here that are gonna have to go, and maybe one or two more over there by the Kabelka that are gonna have to go, but I think we have 95% of the trees need to be taken out are taken out. As you can see, the ground is not the smoothest, and there's still lots of little small debris laying around. I have the bulk of it, but you know, teeny little twigs and stuff, those are awful hard to pick up with the excavator. So what I want to do is take the dozer and just kind of give the ground a good smooth over, make it a little bit easier for us to lay out the stakes. If we're pulling string lines or tape measures or whatever, there won't be as much crap for that stuff to get caught on. Not to mention just make it a little easier to walk around on so I don't roll my ankle in the process or something stupid. Contact. Well, hot diggity, guys. Have a gander at that. So I believe at this point the site is pretty much cleared. I think maybe one of these trees, maybe two of these smaller trees along the slope there might still have to go. My dad was just out here a little bit ago, gave me a hand, kind of pulling the tape measure out and laying out some stakes here. This is roughly the footprint of the house, and then there's going to be a garage that kicks off on an angle over that way. So I think we got it kind of where we want it. I can still make some adjustments at this point. It's not till we actually dig for the foundation that we'll really need to make sure we have things dead on the money. I figured I'd jump on the man lift here and kind of get a downward look on the situation. It's kind of hard to see from the ground exactly, you know, relative to that slope, how the layout of the house is looking. So I guess it's going to just about wrap up the clearing on this site, guys. I hope you stay tuned. I'll bring you guys back whenever we strip off the topsoil and actually dig out the foundation. I'm not sure exactly how quick I'm going to be doing that, because I don't want to leave an open hole for a long time before they come in and do the foundation for the house. So I got to get with my builder. I'm not GCing this project. I actually hired a builder. I'm not a builder in the sense that I could go put this house together. I probably could, but it would probably take me about 5 years, and at the end of the day, some things would be crooked and some things would probably not be up to code. So it's better for me to just hire somebody to get it done. So I got to get with my builder, and we'll figure out exactly when the foundation guys are coming. So at that time, we'll make sure that our schedules all work out and I can get this thing dug out and prepped before they get here. So if you guys think this looks like a good location for a house, let me know by leaving a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you guys want to see some more action on the house build, let me know in the comments. I haven't decided exactly how much of this project I'm going to cover for you guys. So if you guys really want to see it, you really got to let me know down in the comments and by hitting that thumbs up on the video. If you guys want to help support the channel, head on over to dieselcreek.com, pick yourself up some sweet swag over there. We've got some new t-shirts in the store all ready for spring, so pick yourself up a fresh new t-shirt just in time for spring over there at the store. That's dieselcreek.com. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Later. I hope this thing starts. Great success.